Woo! Hey, everybody. It is that time again. It's Friday, right? Man, Friday? Yeah. It's noon, maybe 30 seconds afternoon. Welcome. It's Festool Live, and this is Festool Friday, and we are really stoked today because I get a chance to show you a new product. Okay. It's really weird saying new product because I think I've been using it for about 8 months now.
It's been a while.
It's my go-to saw. So let's cut to the chase. Let's introduce everybody. This is episode number 54. And over here on the board, working the audio today is Big D.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for staying with us.
Yeah, baby. Hey, on the camera, we got Chris the Unit Cybert. He's right behind that camera right there. Woo, woo. Over here, we have Minnie, who's on the whiteboard. Right down here, we have Minnie's doggy, Sparky, the shop dog. He is so excited to be with us today. And online, of course, we have Brent Shively. He's the star of our YouTube build series called Build with Brent. Make sure you tune it in. I think there's a new episode series coming out. Make sure you watch on YouTube.
Ooh.
All right. So I'm going to call out a segment of employees here at Festool that are not even at HQ. They're out in their territories, making sure your dealers have plenty of TSC 55 KEBs for you, and Plane X's, new Plane X's, and all kinds of Festool tools. There are regional sales managers, and I personally want to thank them because they are the rock stars of Festool North America. So I hope all you guys are tuning in and watching or watching this weekend because this lives on YouTube. It lives on Instagram. It lives on Facebook. Don't forget, everybody, to friend us, follow us, and subscribe to us, please. It helps us continue what we're doing. And, man, do we have a heck of a summer planned for you. Woo! You wait. This is just the beginning. Okay, let's talk about track saws. We have corded and we have cordless. Which one do you choose? Well, normally in a shop where I'm at, the majority of the time, whether here or at home, I have electricity. So I always go to the corded. I have used the cordless here, but I'm always hooking it up to a dust extractor because I don't want to keep emptying the bag on the cordless. But boy, things changed about 8 months ago. Everybody in this room knows with this new TSC 55K, it is my go-to saw. Because of two things, but the number one thing for me is the new blades. Okay? So, over the years, I'm going to swing over here so we can talk about the blades. And this is the highlight I want to really compound on. These are the old blades. These are the ones that fit on the TSC 55 and the TS 55 corded. The TSC 55 is going to go away. But the TS 55 corded is going to stay. So these are the blades. They're 2.2 millimeter. Every single blade here has a legend. It tells you the hook angle on it. It tells you the amount of teeth. It tells you all kinds of stuff. It tells you, of course, 2.2 millimeter. But also, the thing I want to point out about the blades, and this will continue through jigsaw blades, any of our blades, even the pads on our sanders, is this, you see there's a yellow circle on the outside? That means it's for wood. Look at that. This is the blade that comes with a TS55. It's the 48 tooth blade, okay? But it's for wood. And, you know, predominantly plywood sheet goods. This one here is the universal. This is your ripping blade. We always delineate it by Panther. And but if you want something in between, the 28 tooth. And then we have the red blade, which is for plastics and laminates. Okay, see how it's red? And then we have this one, which is green and green. Green and green. That's a good furniture design. But no, seriously, green is for fiber cement board. All right? Cool. Now, let me move that back. These are the new blades. Same color coding, but guess what came back? Check it out. The blue blade, and that's for aluminum, non-ferrous metals, and really hard plastics. Okay, but we have, and I don't have it here because it's on my saws, the new blade that comes with a saw is a 42 tooth blade. Okay, alternating top bevel. It's yellow. This is the one that's 28 tooth in the middle. That's your universal, and there's your Panther blade. Okay, but we have the other ones and also for 5%. But here's the kicker. We went with a thinner curve. It's 1.8 millimeter now. So when you say, wow, that's not a big difference, that's 0.4 millimeter. Holy macanoli, wait till you see the difference. Okay, the blades last 40% longer, which is really cool. Check this out. I did a demo, okay? And this was the hard one. I ran, and I'm going to do it over here for you. I ran the TSC 55 REB and the TSC 55 KEB. And I was telling all our inside sales folks, it's 25% less dust. So I emptied out both bags, and everybody looked at it and went, it looks about the same. So what I did a couple days ago, I took 2 mason jars, okay? And check it out. I'm going to put them over here, and hopefully you can see this. I packed them down, and if we look, yes, that's about 25% less. This is the new saw. And it's, of course, common sense if you really think about it. You have a thinner curve, so you're producing less dust. Follow me? I hope so. Okay. So I thought that would help out. It's a good visual for you on the amount of dust that's less. Now, the other kicker to this is because you have less resistance in the plate, guess what? It's about 50% more efficient, or about twice as fast as the old, I can't believe I'm saying old, the old TSC 55. And I'm going to show you that in a couple of minutes. Now, there's a couple of things I want to point out. Let's come over here. Come over here, cameraman. Let's go here, Big Chris. If we really look at it, they're almost identical. I have to point out, it's the blades and the anti-kickback stop. That's the big difference. They both have EC to EC motors, brushless motors. They work with all the accessories, like the parallel guides, of course, every guide rail you have. So the kicker to this is the really upgrade to this. And is it a big difference? You'll see in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to make a rip with the TS55 REB. Okay, and Big D's going to time it, and Minnie's going to put the time up on the board. Okay, so I'm going to set it up, and just remember, everybody, always remember it, and I'm saying this because I'm going to be changing the blade in a couple of minutes. Whenever you're setting up the saw, make sure the batteries are off of it. They come with the new, this is the TS55 REB, and it comes with 2 Bluetooth 5.2 batteries. I'm just going to slip them on, okay? I got my depth set. Important, I want to maximize my dust extraction, so I put down my outside splinter guard. It actually has a little part on it that deflects the dust into the bag. I'm going to put the bag on, and I'm going to zip it up. Wait a minute. Let's look inside the bag. Whoop, 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 whoop. Las Vegas trick. Hey, and the important thing is I'm actually going to zip it up this time. All right. So think about it, and as I do this, I'm going to talk about a couple more statistics. If I have a couple of batteries on here that are fully charged, whether on this one or the other one, the new saw will get about 50% more, 40 to 50% more battery charge. Okay, it'll run longer. Okay, so it'll be more efficient. Hopefully that came across right, but it all depends on the material you're ripping. Okay, so Big D, you got that set?
Yep.
Okay. Now, a couple of things. I have this set. I'm going to do a 6 millimeter rip. I'm just going to verify my distance. I use the limit stop and that little ledge just to give me that distance I need. And as I go through this, I'm going to give you some tips or some reminders if you've never followed one of our Festool Lives, the proper way to cut with a track saw. Always remember this. You do not want to start here. You want to start the blade I've always verified it so it's before I enter the wood. So I'm going to start full speed. You got it? That way there, it's apple to apple. I'm going to bring it down, and I'm going to make the cut. How am I doing? You got the time? Good. Now, I'm trying to not put too much pressure on here because I want to compare apples to apples. All right? Now, remember, that's pretty much the middle of the blade. Make sure you go all the way past it and bring it up full speed. Big D, what was the time on that?
24:36.
24:36. Okay, so there you go. Now, it's one of my favorite demos anyhow, whether with the new one or the old one. That was you get 90% with the bag. Okay, but check this out. What's 90%? Look at this, everybody. That's a heck of a lot of sawdust, isn't it? Was that an enthusiastic wow?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so there we go. Make sure it's all out of there. Okay, now I'm going to set it up with the new saw. Big D, you reset your...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I got my depth stop. I'm going to set my stop down. No, it is the KEB. Okay. All right. So, boy, Chris is quite the fact checker these days, isn't he? He's worked with me too long. Okay, so here we go. I set my 6mm rip. I just verify. Stop.
So let's catch some of that dust a little bit.
So check out the dust. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hey, just remember this. If everything goes wrong for me, you're going to love this saw. Okay, so take two. Let me get the bag on here. And here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Go. And I'm not pushing any harder. Look how much quicker this is. And I want to say it's common sense, but you got less blade in that curve. Okay, what do we got?
11.54.
11.54.
Now, these times are unofficial, and they are not that
Okay, so I'm going to take this like this and put the bag out, and you're going to see the difference in dust if you can really see it. And is there really a big difference? That's why I put it in the mason jars so you could all see that. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. It's about the blades and how much quicker it is. Now, I'm going to go from blade, then to anti-kickback, and then to blade again. So what I want to do is I want to grab this saw. I want to bring it over here. And I'm going to stand behind here. Big D, you'll get me on this, right?
Yep.
And I'm going to select the Panther blade. Now, I'm going to rip this. Oh, man, I forgot the thickness on this. I think it's about 32 millimeter. Yep, 32 millimeter. Hey, this is cabinet grade. I'm just kidding. 32 millimeter. All right. So I'm going to set it up. Now, I'm going to change the blade. And once again, when you're changing the blade, make sure the batteries are off. I'm going to take my outside splinter guard off like this. Okay? And I'm going to put it in fast fix. Three things happen when it's in fast fix. Okay? You open it up. Okay? It locks the blade down. It locks the arbor shaft. And you ready? It also locks the switch in case you didn't take the batteries off. Okay. Inside the handle here, you have that wonderful 5mm hex key. And you just spin the blade off. And this is the 42-tooth blade that comes with it. I'm going to spin that off. I'm going to get the flange nut off as well. Oh, look at this. This is no longer a riving knife. You see how it sets back? Now, when you look at this, I'm going to hopefully you can get a visual on it. See, it doesn't line up. And you see how there's a notch in the shoe here? And I'm going to see if we can get a visual this way. It doesn't line up whatsoever with the blade. This is no longer a riving knife. It's an anti-kickback stop. That rides on the rail. Where a typical or our older style cordless track saw, let me take the batteries off so you guys can see this. The riving knife is right in line. Okay? And that's the 2.2 millimeter curve. Now, this is important when I explain why we have the anti-kickback stop. The riving knife was to prevent kickbacks for case-hardened wood. You know when you take a board that's been kiln dried too quick, the board splays like this sometimes as you're cutting it, or it goes like this and pinches it. With a new, so the riving knife would keep the kerf open. Okay, but the majority of the time we've seen kickbacks. Okay, and I'm going to put this new Panther blade on. Is usually, and I hate saying this, is usually user error in the saw, not because of the wood. And by the way, I am that user. Okay, and I already explained why earlier. Hopefully you caught it. Wasn't that easy how to change a blade? My goodness. Okay, so I'm going to take it like this. You remember earlier I said, and you probably have rails like this, okay, in your shop if you've experienced this type of kickback. It's when you start right here and you didn't check the depth and you didn't check it, so you started it right here. And this is where you have kickback. Now that could be a dangerous situation because it comes back on you like this. The other reason you have kickback is when you plunge in the middle of the board and you're not using a limit stop. And a limit stop goes on the rail here, so when you plunge in, like say in the middle of that piece of plywood, it keeps it from lifting like this as you plunge in. A lot of people don't know what a limit stop is, and the reason I wanted to point this out is later this summer I'm going to be talking about plunge cutting with the 55s and also with the 75. I have a whole segment on plunge cutting. Okay? There's a lot of myths out there on it. I want to show you the exact setup on it on Festool Live. So, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set a quick depth. I'm going to check just like this to see my depth. That's about where I want it. Okay? Now, somebody asked me already because of the posting we did early in the week. In North America, there's only going to be an imperial version of it. I just wanted to point that out. My new fact checker. Okay. So, let me explain how, and I'm not going to do kickback today. Okay, I don't want to scare Chris on the camera. But what I want to do is I want you to see this. Come in here, Chris, so you can see this. You see how this is riding on the rail? So as I start the saw and plunge, okay, and I get that movement back, as soon as that makes contact or releases contact on the surface it's resting on, it'll stop automatically. Now here's the nice thing. It fully resets itself. It doesn't damage the blade whatsoever. You could cut within a couple of seconds afterwards because it sets itself right away. But the other thing to remember, it's not the same flesh sensing technology as SawStop. It's electronics and a mechanical combined with that little stop right there. Now, there is a defeat on it, or you can turn it off. And I'll show you that when you turn it off. And why would somebody want to turn it off? Well, so say you're cutting off the rail, okay, and you're cutting some hardwood floor, and you encounter, as you're cutting on the hardwood floor, a register opening, right? An HVAC opening. That little stop will lose contact and shut it off, and you don't want that, so you can turn it off if you want. Okay? So, hopefully that explained it. Now, there's plenty of videos. Big D will put a link to one of the videos that actually shows you anti-kickback stop. Rest assured, it's on there for you, and it's so safe. Good. So guess what? Let's get it cutting. And I wanted to make a rip because I also want to show you how there's no deflection on this when I'm cutting angles on hardwood. Okay. Chris, what are you supposed to remind me of? Yeah, baby. I swear that's not my bag, baby. Okay, good. You like that, don't you, Minnie? You behave. All right. Okay. Hopefully you guys all can figure out how much fun we have doing these. Okay, so I'm going to check to see, right? Now, what I'm going to do is, Chris, come over here if you can. Look, when I have it like this, you see where it says kickback stop? That means it's working. Okay, now, if I want to turn it off, it turns red. Okay, now there's something else I want to show you. I'm just going to see. Now it's on again. Okay, it automatically resets itself. This whole system's a no-brainer. But here's the other one. Say, look, I'm cutting like this, right? Okay, see how that's not on anything right now? And I have to start it like this. Chris, I want you to see this really quick. Come over here so you can see this. When I start it, okay, as soon as, see how it blinked? Now it's engaged. You didn't see it? Okay, I'll do it again. Look. Oh, see how that's orange? Yep. As soon as that lift makes contact, I'm still engaged. I don't want you to say it's been defeated or turned off or anything. It's just that has to make contact with it. Right. And it's a combination of plunging and a little bit of jolting and that disconnecting from the rail. And man, it's a great system for you, okay? Once again, at Festool, we're always thinking about your safety, okay? So maybe I can't say a raise the hands, but usually in class I used to say, hey, how many people have had kickback and because of this or have marks on their rails? And usually 5, 6, 7 guys would do that, right? The raise your hand. You know what I always say? When that happened, that blade was pretty much up in there, up in the housing when it snapped on you. What's the first thing you did? And everybody would go, oh, check to see if I'm okay. You know what I usually do? Even though I'm by myself here, I usually look around to see if anybody saw me do it. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm going to check right now. Let's make the cut. And I want you to notice how this is going through it like butter. Okay? That thin curve really makes a substantial difference. And there you go. Always remember to go all the way through and bring it up full speed. And look at that cut, everybody. That's the perfect straight line rip. And as always, because of the MMC, there's no burning. Yes, sir.
That's probably the best cut I've ever seen.
Oh, my God. Has anybody ever noticed all the great people in here? Well, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same board, just like this, Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. And I'm going to do this, Chris. Watch. Stay there. I'm going to release my STM wheels, locking casters. Hey, guys, just remember, on these casters, use the right oil for lubrication. Caster oil. Whoop, 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 whoop. Never mind. Okay. Tough room today. Tough room.
This guy.
Let me bring my MFT over. Okay. Perfect. And I'm going to grab this board. Let's lift this up. I'm going to bring it in. And what's the one thing everybody's, I don't want to say scared of, but concerned about or hyper aware of? When you go to a thinner curve, you stand a chance of deflection, right? So I got to hand it to everybody over in Germany with these new blades because I want to show you this cut. And I'm also going to teach you not a trick, but something I learned early on, even before I started with Festool, is how to properly hold the saw to make an angled cut. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to release it right here and right here on the trunnion. I'm going to tilt it up and I'm going to bring it to 45. Okay, I'm going to tighten these knobs right here on the trunnion. Okay, but look what my hand is. Okay, ooh, turn it the other way. Oh, what happened? Oh, you know what? Once again, I loosened it too much. You know what? That's why you always have a backup saw in there. Remember that, Chris, when you're doing these demos next year. Okay, so I used to see people make cuts like this all the time. Okay, look at this. See how this is coming off the rail? Okay, so if you, and this is what I always want you to check when you're making an angled cut, okay, is that should be a very fine point. If you're ending up like this with a flat spot, it's because this is tilting. Okay, just put your hand down on there. Okay, I just want to check my depth. I set this up earlier, and I'm going to make the cut. Now, there is something I did a little bit different. Now, I used to make that cut with the TSC and the TS55. Look at this, look at this. Look at this, unbelievable. Look at this cut. That was effortless. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check this because that's at 45. And Chris, I want you to come in here. Look at this. it's exactly 45. Look at this offcut. I'm going to bring it up here. Let's get a light to it. Look at that. Absolutely. Get behind me over here, Chris. Look at that. Absolutely perfect 45. So this saw, think about it. That's, what did I say, 32 millimeters thick? This is perfect for waterfalling, everybody. So there you go. I just wanted to point that out. No deflection in that blade. It's a laser cut. Oh. Check it out. Look at this. Splinter free. Did that come through? Did you hear, Chris? Nice cut. Okay. Oh my God. What a bunch of characters I work with. Big D, did I cover everything?
Yep.
Hey, that was a pretty good time on that. That was half the time, wasn't it? That was twice as fast, wasn't it? Cool. Sure. Mapele.
Ooh, the
You ever guys
fancy
ever
wood.
use Mapele? It's French maple. No, I'm just kidding. It's maple. Okay, 1 battery on the saw. Okay, so, I'll do it. Now, that's spinning at 5,200 RPM, right? Okay, so say you're in a job site and you only have 1 battery, or you've wasted both batteries and you have a spare 1 battery while the others are charging. Okay, if I was a contractor still, I'd have an SC8 Airstream charger, because I'd take a 30-minute break and come back, and I wouldn't use 1 battery. But boy, I haven't used 1 battery in forever. Let's do it. I haven't used it yet, so let's try it. Let's get this on here. Whoopsie. I'm just gonna take it like this. You know what? I'm gonna take it like I did before. Cool. Wow. Excellent. Excellent. Hey, guys, I don't know if you noticed this, but when I'm ripping hardwoods, especially hard maple like this, look, see this? I always try to lock it down to the wood, but I want to impede the forward momentum of it, so I also lock it to the MFT, at least with one of them. Okay? And then I'll come in underneath. That way there I know I'm going to get the best straight line rip possible. And I'll lock it here. I can lock this just to the wood, but I have the ability to lock it right to the MFT. Okay, and let's see, 1 battery. So let's look at the legend here. Okay, I have to make sure it's at the bottom. No, okay, but it's a lot slower. I think I know it goes down to 3,800 RPM. Okay, if I left just the one on top, that won't work. Okay, so let's see what it's like at 3,800 RPM. And hopefully I'm not going to cut my table. Oh, hang on. I want to make sure I'm getting all the dust. There we go. Of course, it's a lot slower. Oh, this is the perfect example to have that SC8 charger. Or, I'll make a note. If you're out on the job site and you don't get paid by the job, but by the hour, use 1 battery. Okay? That way the boss is paying you that much more for the job. But once again, in comes the MMC with no burning. You can do it. No worries with 1 battery. Cool. Good? Maple. Wow, I got questions this time. And it's funny because we always say when Brent comes in after post Festool Live, he always tells us all the questions you guys have asked. And of course, Brent's right there for you.
Oh yeah, he's killing it today.
He's killing it. Oh, wait a minute. Today?
Well,
he always
day.
kills it, dude. Okay. Woo-hoo! Go get your TSC 55 KEBs. Okay. When's it coming out? June 15th?
Yes, sir.
Here in North America. Whew. Okay, so, Minnie, I think you've been right. Let me see the back side really quick. Oh, my God. Okay. let's get started on where you are from. Okay. Manny, I think this is the first. This is Korea, huh? Oh, we have people from Korea, Herndon, Virginia, Santa Cruz, California, Mississauga, Ontario, Toronto, Canada, or is that California? Because I know there's a Toronto, California. Chichester, UK, Ronnie from Paris, Greeley, Colorado, Bangkok, Flanders, Belgium, 33,000 feet. Mike, you're up 33,000 feet. What are you, Mount Everest? Okay. Boucherville, Quebec. Nowhere from Joe G. And that must be Joe Gregory from nowhere. Recife, Brazil. Evergreen, Colorado. Zionsville. I don't know where that is. Cape Cod, Haarlem, Netherlands. East Petersburg, PA. That's Pennsylvania. Toledo, Ohio. Dawn, how you doing from Albuquerque? Bloomington, Indiana, Independence, Kentucky, Nashville, Georgia, Indio, India, Tallinn, Estonia, Lyngby, Denmark, Sweden, Vietnam? This is cool. St. Louis, Missouri, Buckeye, Arizona, Southern California, Woodcraft, D.C. area, Springfield, Virginia. I know you guys. You guys are rock stars. Des from Harrogate, England, Jolarvi, Finland, Netherlands. Man, you guys from Netherlands are rock stars. Hepburn, UK. Hasselberg, Plunkett, England. Mateus from Switzerland, or Mattis, Switzerland. Perth, Australia. Jeff from Baltimore, Maryland. Bozeman, Montana. Roscoe, Illinois. Ecuador, because it says here, Ecuador. Boise, Idaho. Pumpkinville, Australia. I can't help it. Lenvin, Belgium. Hey, Delaware. All right, cool. Leicester, England. Leeds, UK. Ottawa, Columbia, Maryland. Minnie, give me a spin. Whew. I'll tell you what, man. Minnie and I have been working on our geography lessons all week long. Oh my God. Fenton, Michigan. Swansville, Virginia. Or Shawsville, Virginia, Banjo Island, which is in Bristol, UK, Woodcraft, Kansas City. Woo! All right, Ian Harrison from East Yorkshire, Lausanne, Switzerland, sunny Netherlands, Cheadle, England, Cheadle. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Cheadle. Okay. Hey, is Cinnaminson up here? It better be. There it is. How you doing, Rob? Okay. That was the hottest one ever. Okay. Duleek Island, Dale from Swaddencote, England, Scrumdiddly Bakery. Scrumdiddly Bun Bakery in the UK. Man, I am getting hungry. Batavia, Ohio. Tom and Kelly from Eastonton, Georgia. Berlin, Germany. Basington, England. Estonia. Howard is awesome except when Sparky knocks him down. Proof. Sedge can be slept through. Attaboy! Isn't that? Hey, now. Hey, we're writing comments and critiques now, man. All right. St. Paul, Minnesota. Chris from Cota Grove, Minnesota. Bermuda. Edmonton, Alberta. Lebanon, Indiana. That's where we are. Okay, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Tucson, Arizona, Bethlehem, PA, West Virginia, Whitestown, New York. You're always there. Thank you very much. You've been there from the beginning. Neuchâtel, Switzerland, Norway, Denmark, Raymond, Maine. You've been there since the beginning. Malta, Christopher, how are you? It's about 6:30 over there in Malta, probably. Okay, hey. Thanks for tuning in at your dinner time. Probably dinner time over there. Paul, UK. Lowell, Massachusetts. I'll call it out again. Cinnaminson. Okay, New Jersey. Okay, Rio Rancho. Reykjavik, Iceland. I think that's a first. Nolens, which is New Orleans. Maple, and Able in French. Mapelle. Flanders. Iran. This is so cool, guys. I just love where everybody's from. Finland, Portland, Oregon, Homestead, Sweden. Wow, I think we have a few new countries up there this year. I mean, this today, don't you? Wow, we're global, baby. All right. Okay. Hey, South Africa. We love you.
Is that track on top of the Sysboard?
Yeah. Okay, he's asking that one. No, that's some of those wonderful truckers. That's how they take care of our guide rails for us. Okay. Subject to inspection. All right, everybody. All questions are done. That's where everybody's from. And you know what? We need a bigger board, don't we, Min? Okay. Hey, Sparky, how you doing? Good? We done, Spark? We wrapping, Bubba? All right, everybody. It is 12:35 here in beautiful, sunny Lebanon, Indiana. I want to tell you, and as I say it every single time, and daggone it, I mean it, and I know everybody at Festool means it. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Festool Live. Whew! Happy Festool Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And I'm not telling you what next week is because it's wicked good. I'll see you later. Have a good one.